started riding BMX as a kid, mountain bikes. I raced mountain bikes for a few years, and then I got into dirt bikes because he didn't have to pedal anymore. Then I started racing dirt bikes kind of on and off, rode with a lot of friends. Then we got on street bikes and rode street bikes for a while, and I got in a lot of trouble when I was younger doing that. Finally picked back up, into dirt bikes again, continued riding dirt bikes, and then a buddy of mine let me ride his Harley one day, and I never thought I would ride a Harley in my life. I never liked them. I didn't like the scene or anything. And I actually ended up trading my dirt bike straight across for my Sportster 1200 that I had. I did go out and buy a new dirt bike that day, but I bought that Harley, and man, ever since it's just been a good time. I mean, sure, a lot of leaks and a lot of parts and maintenance and stuff, but overall, man, it's been a blast. My name's Derek Larson. Was born in Denver, Colorado, but lived in Phoenix, Arizona my whole life. Current bike is a 2005 Dyna FX DCI, so super glide. Used to have a stock 88. I ran that for about a year and a half with some fueling parts and just a Barnett clutch. Ran fine for a long time, and then the crank started walking side to side. So I decided it's best to pull it apart. I sent it out, got the crank. Well, the crank was actually smoked, so I had to buy the Man of War crank from Dark Horse. It's balanced, trued. It's a nice setup. So I bought that. Had the motor built by Dave Mackey Engineering. They took a little longer than expected, but I got that thing back, and man, it's just so powerful. It's a good time. But so now it's a fully built 95 glass beaded heads. It's a machine. I really like stoppies. I think that's probably one of my favorite tricks to do. Some of these guys out here are doing stoppies on Harleys. I'm not about it, but that was one of those things where it's just like rolling on the front wheel. Just there's something about it. You just feel like free, but at the same time, that's one of those tricks where you have got to be so perfectly on it, and if you go over, it's a tough time. We travel the states and just go everywhere we can, obviously as work permits. There's rides in Chicago, and we got one actually next month. It's in Mexico. So we ride down, go south of the border into Tijuana, Rosarito, and just go ride down there in the streets. It's an awesome time just going anywhere. Just being able to travel around all around the states. I mean, I got a lot of places I can go and call up a friend, that I'd met throughout a ride in the previous years and be able to stay with them and go to their town, ride with their friends, their group, and just make new friends. It's just it's a tight-knit community, man. It's a great time. So last year I went to the TSR ride and looped out a limiter coaster going down a hill in the streets of Tijuana. It might have been 1 a.m. Just was feeling a little bit myself and just having a good time and just showing out, and ended up hitting a little bump and just going for a ride. You know, the bike slid down the street, I hopped up, ran it off. I didn't know I broke my foot. I thought I just kind of hurt it. I had a pretty big wound on the side. We stopped in a parking lot, kind of bandaged it up, put some peroxide on there, got me back to the house, and woke up the next morning and ended up riding across the border and going and getting an x-ray and figuring out my foot was broke. So I healed through that, and then just had 2 freak accidents throughout the year. I broke that same bone again a couple months later, and that healed up after I had surgery on it that second time. And then right after that, I fractured my heel. So we're about 2 months in from being out of a boot, and I'm feeling good, finally able to get back to it and start riding, and especially, you know, get used to this new bike, all that power. It's going to be an enjoyable year for sure. So my buddy Danny Ruthless, he's an OG in the scene. I mean, he's done Harleys, he's done sport bikes, kind of supermotos. He's in the Bagger Racing League. I mean, he's just all around. You meet this guy, and you know you gotta look up to him. He's a big dude, but just killer energy, man. Just a great person to be around. It's awesome that he even called me up and thought of me, you know, for this opportunity. But just a solid friend. I've been running stock wheels for a long time. I still chose the same wheel sizes just because I've burned through so many tires. It's not worth the money for me right now to start buying, you know, 18-inch tires over and over. I mean, they're $200 a piece, and at this moment, I'll probably do one ride and I'll burn through a tire in one ride. I mean, I got a tire machine at home, so I can swap them out, no problem, but you know, that get expensive. So I knew I wanted something durable. I didn't really know you could get wheels that were so just cool and flashy. I mean, when they told me I could do any color or whatever, I did chrome, and it makes the bike look good, you know? So I ended up choosing the PS2. Overall, it's a really cool looking wheel, in my opinion. We chose to go with the performance wheels. I chose between all the options you guys had. I just picked this one just because it was the coolest. It's the sleekest looking, in my opinion. You know how it's just got the small. It's just clean. It's all. I like the cuts. I like everything. I mean, you can notice the little details cut in from the machines. So SMT also gave me the chance to run their Pro Light rotors. Those things are awesome. I actually converted my bike. It used to be a single disc. I changed it to a dual disc setup, changed the calipers from, you know, a Dyna to a bagger. So I'm able to run the bigger calipers as well. So the thing stops on a dime. It's awesome. I mean, not to sound like this, but I feel it just looks so much cooler. It just gives me that little bit more confidence, you know, that you kind of have to show out, you know. Sliding around, you know, you'll have the bars locked, you're drifting one way, and just, you know, just seeing it from afar, you know, I got to throw one of my buddies on the bike and just watch it myself, you know. It's they just shine in the light, and it's just a good looking wheel. So I've been working with SMT for a little while now, and everyone on the team is just, they always got a, you know, good attitude. They're super helpful. Any issues I have, they're helping with. I've even helped other riders set up with their SMT wheels. Becca as well, she's got her set, so I helped her install all those on there. And I mean, just any issues or questions I had throughout, whether, you know, it had been Martin, whether it been Dane, they always just there to help and give me tips along the way if I, you know, needed any help. Yeah, so the cut and the design, so actually when I was choosing the wheel to run, the PS2s weren't even out yet. I think I had looked around at a couple of them. I was looking at the PS3s. I mean, it just kind of was looking around, seeing what I liked. And I messaged Martin and said, hey, you know, you have a few more that have you designed them yet? And sure enough, he shot me over the PS2s and I was sold first look, you know. So we ended up going with those. Ended up doing chrome for the coating. I've already got a lot of chrome on the bike and I figured I'd just keep going with it. I mean, the engine is blonde, my motor, all the covers are chrome, the exhaust is chrome, the fork lowers, the risers, everything. I even run a white wall tire just to make it look just a little bit, I don't even know if you could call that fancy, but I just like the way it looks. It's just clean. But overall, I mean, it's just a good looking wheel, and especially when you put it on the bike, it just looks so much cooler. So I'm on Instagram, dlarson21. I feel like a lot of people don't even know my first name, to be honest with you. You know, if you hear Larson yelled across the room, you know, I mostly will know that guy through Instagram. I might not know his name. I'm usually pretty bad with names, not gonna lie. But yeah, I mean, just Instagram, it's a huge place. You know, you wouldn't think you'd be meeting all these friends on a social media website, but I talk to people that I've never met before. I actually have a roommate of mine that I'd only planned to go meet at a ride out, never ended up meeting him, and now he's living with me, going to school out here at MMI. So, you know, it's a small world, but you can just meet whoever you want if you care to branch out. When you ride with SMT, you ride with the best.